All right, so starting with question one, this is a brief description of who I am. My name is Shannon Scullion. I'm a first-year student at the University of Ottawa. I'm studying sociology. This is also my first communications course, and I love hiking, being with my family. I love music, and I decided to put these two canvases of Bob Dylan and David Bowie that are above my bed because I'm a huge fan of them, and we also listen to some Bob Dylan songs in class. All right, so for question two, I conducted most of my research in my room. However, sometimes I'd be in the kitchen or living room, but majority of the time I was in my room, in my bed, or at my desk. So I'll include a picture of that in the next slide. So this is where all the magic happened. I created all my field reports and research reports and notes in my bedroom, either in my bed or on my desk. All right, so for question three, I gathered my data using my phone and my laptop, which has been my saving grace throughout university and high school. So now for question four, a question that I've been wanting to avoid, my average time spent on my phone, which is over 12 hours. But in my defense, I think it's because I have Netflix on while I'm sleeping, but it still should be lower. So sadly, this is an example of one of my screen time snapshots from my smartphone settings. So for question five, my favorite artwork that I made throughout this class is a sculpture of a lighthouse and a star, which will be on the next slide. So this is the sculpture, and it was really fun to make because it was one of my first sculptures, and one thing that it symbolizes is a sense of freedom for me. So for question six, I analyzed my data through my field reports when I would have to code my field reports and make a coding chart, and I would code my emotions and the platforms that I used and the correlation between which emotions I felt towards different applications. So I will include a photo of one of my field reports that are coded in the next slide. So this is one of my coded field reports. So for question seven, I found a lot of patterns in my media consumption. I found that I used a lot of the same apps like Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, Netflix, and I also noticed that I had a lot of the same emotions. So for example, one day I might be happy, another day I might be sad, and another day I could be angry, or sometimes I'd have all of these emotions in one. And I found a lot of times when I was sad or angry, it was because I was upset about the things going on in the world, like the war in Ukraine or the convoy in Ottawa. So yeah. And this is an example that I've included in my other field reports of news that's made me upset. So question eight, my research journey shows me a lot about my world and me. It shows me how sensitive I am and how upset it makes me when people are treated poorly and unfairly, and when people are living in poor conditions and their rights are being violated. It makes me tremendously sad and upset. And it shows me that I really want peace in this world. And I made a little peace sculpture to represent that. I also have a sculpture in my previous field reports, which is a heart in the shape of a world, and it's broken because the world is surrounded by such hatred and it's crumbling and breaking. And it also breaks my heart to see that. So you'll see that in the next slide. This is the heart sculpture in the shape of a world that's broken that I was speaking about in the prior video. All right, so time for the last question. My research journey is important because my emotions, my artwork, my opinions, all of them are valid, and a lot more things are valid, and it's extremely important, and it's a really big learning experience for me to discover all of these things and let certain things come to the forefront. And also, my research journey helps me see the bigger picture and discover more about the world.